Kumlenen Ablak Gemara. We are up to Daf Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. And the last thing we said was that the psukim, a series of psukim regarding Porah Aduma, some of them are continuation of what the psukim are before, and some of them are come to radically change or to alter the din of before. Some are being mighty and some are just being continued. And we're working our way through the psukim, and we're seeing which ones are in sequence and which ones are coming to alter dinim. So we are up to the Gemara over here. We'll start from the Asaf Isha Torah, right in the middle of the page. The last one line is Torah. So we're continuing down the psukim. We talked about that the Kohen has to wash himself and then go to the Machne. The Kohen already took the 8 eddas and all that. So the Pasuk says, the Asaf Ish Torah, and a person who is Torah should gather together as Ephod HaPorah. Further up, sorry. Okay, a little bit further up. Where?
Just about 9.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we will go back a few lines. It's about 10 lines on the top of the page. It says in Pasuk, "Chibes begadav hakoyim." The kohen should then go ahead and wash his clothes. Now we're talking about the kohen. Why do you have to? We talk about the kohen took the 8 eddas. We talk about Elazar kohen took from his blood and so on. Why do you have to now say again Chibes begadav hakoyim? So obviously, it's coming to tell you something. Chibes begadav hakoyin. So we'll say first of all, bikihunai, that the kohen has to be wearing his clothes in order to do his avodah. B'tomei hakoyin ada order, and then it says in the pasuk that the kohen washes his clothes and he goes to the mikveh, and afterwards he goes back to the camp and he's tummy till the night. So we say. Kohen b'kehuna l'doidus. And in the future, the kohen always has to wear his clothes when it comes to the event of this experience of the Porah Aduma. Says the Gemara. I was listening to that Porah Aduma has to always done by a kohen wearing his arba of God. Remember we had a machlekes before. Okay, now it's a Lazar kohen, but the l'doidus will be different. There are two opinions. Either l'doidus will always be an ordinary kohen, or l'doidus will be the kohen godly. So we're talking about a kohen hedye. But then, no, but you don't learn what do you call it? From Yom Kippur, that has to be Dafka Kohen Gadol. So it has to be a Kohen. Now what? That has to be an ordinary Kohen wearing the big Yikudah. Shopping. It makes sense why you need this limud that it should be a Kohen. Last time a Kohen. Not even a Sgan Kohen, but Dafka Kohen Gadol. You need to tell me he has to wear big Yikudah. If you're Makbid, that has to be a Kohen Gadol who does the Porah Aduma, then surely he has to wear big Yikudah. That's only the way to claim. That's only your kippur. Porah Aduma is not there for kapara. Porah Aduma is there for tahara.
So why was it lost with
Today's the custom. I'll say one. The Kohen God will be in if you need a Kohen God, you gotta tell me he has to wear his clothes. Was it in Milsa, the famous thing we had, Milsa, the Asher, the Kavachimer, sometimes things which you can learn in common sense. Now we're back to the Gemara, and then it says further, this time it doesn't say Kohen. It says an ish toy, as if to say it's no longer a coin is no longer necessary. It comes to gathering together the ashes. But also ish toy is apron hapara. You should gather together the ashes and v'hiniach and you should place it kusamach. So we dashen will be machlek. He dashens ish lahachshir. That's azor. Here we know that it doesn't have to be a kohen to gather the ashes. It can even be a yisrael, right? Because otherwise, why bother saying anything? We already talked about a kohen till now. All we had to say was Asaf as Ephod HaPorah. Well, no, the same person we're talking about till now. Says Gemara, number 1. Number 2, Tahor. It says Ish Tahor, obviously Tahor. Lahachshir, that's an Isha, to tell you that even a woman is kosher. Now, of course, it can't be talking about a Talmudic person because it's a chatas, and a chatas, we know that chatas cannot be touched by a Talmudic person. So why is it there to say Tahor? Only to try to tell you even Noshim are kosher for that Sifas HaPorah, the Ephod. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But Torah is extra to another category. And V'hiniach is a third category. And he should be placing, who we're talking about there, Mishi Yesh Baitas Lahaniach. That we're talking about even a cotton can do it if he's mature. So I have 3 limudim, each to expand to Yisrael, in Torah to expand to Noshim, and V'hiniach to expand even Tanim Sheyesh Behem Das. Yotzu, who are we excluding? We're excluding and what kind of cotton? She'ain ben das l'niach, who's not mature. Okay, Tan Hasa, we learned their name Mishnah. Only on the cut. No, Chesed is always considered Eman Das. It's talking about the cut. That's the reason why all of them are. But the Chiddush here is that cotton is limited to Eman Das. And as we learn, Hakol, Shadim, everyone is kosher. There's always kosher to mix it up. So you gather the ashes and you put the water in, and then you mix them up. Everyone is kosher to actually mix them up. Chutz, except who? Rabbi Yehuda says when it comes to mixing up, he's machshir by a cotton. He says it's kosher for a cotton. So the kaddish also means to pour the water onto the ashes. Rabbi Yehuda says no, cotton is kosher, but I argue 2 points. I hold the kosher Eman Das is kosher, but I hold the posel beisha over the I hold the isha is possible. He argues. You said an isha is kosher by asifa and kiddush. I hold that an isha is possible by kiddush, which means will be possible by asifa as well. But cotton I hold is kosher. We'll soon see when it comes to other things how it works. My time with the Rabbanan. Why did Rabbanan learn that we're excluding a cotton shame and that we're including an isha? The chsiv, it says in the pasuk, it says v'lokhu latame, they should take. It says they should take to the tame, and that. Yeah, the lokhu you should take. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so Pasuk says the lokhu they should take from the apart from the ash from the sefer sachatas and put water on it. Right, they should take it and they should put water on it. So the lokhu. So we dash in the lokhu that tami mafar sefer sachatas. He says here. Hanar the postrik loch ba'asifa postrik b'kiddush. So it's a continuation. So we're saying that kiddush and asifa have the same dinim. Whoever is kosher for the asifa, which includes noshim, are kosher for the for what we call it for the kiddush, and whoever is a apostle for the asifa, which is a kosher and das, is apostle for the kiddush as well. Because this is the next avodah after the asifa, and says v'lokhu they should take. Whoever we said before can't do that. Can do this. Whoever before was disqualified is disqualified as well. Sorry. We get to the we get to this is Chacham. So it says they should take whoever's kosher before is kosher now, and I say Rabbi Yehuda. What's he going to say? Rabbi Yehuda says that no, now things change around when it comes to the Mayim Chaim, but Isha is apostle and a kohen has a kosher. And you can't lay makrav v'lokach. Let the pasuk say v'lokach that person who did that should take this. Why is it lokhu plural? My v'lokhu in plural. Ta'afilu cotton. I'm adding something that was possible before. Afilu cotton. The pasuk hasam hacha kosher. Here's kosher. No, so why disqualifying a woman? So if anything, you just add. Whoever was kosher for the asifah should be kosher for the kiddush. Plus, we have also a kotem and das. Why are you disqualifying a woman? Isha minole. Why disqualify a woman? Because that pasuk then says v'nosan. Ma'im chayim kelly. V'nosan in masculine. V'nosan v'loy nosna. It says v'nosan. Doesn't say v'nosna. And therefore, we're saying it's coming to exclude a woman. Sorry. Normally, when it says in the Torah is written lashon zocher, so you can't really redact when the Torah says lashon zocher to exclude the keva. But over here, because the Torah changed the lashon from before, because it says lakum plural. Now it says we're not sounding singular, so therefore it's coming to tell us something. That's lashon zocher. That's a Tosfos learns. Says the Gemara, but Rabbanan knew what. How are they going to learn this? It says v'lokhu and so on. Rabbanan ikos rachmana v'lokach v'nosan. You couldn't have said v'lokach. The had no breida. It's not coming to include or to exclude. If it would have said v'lokach lashon yochid and then v'nosan lashon yochid, how many would have thought ad shokil chad v'yochad that the same person who did this has to do that? You can't have another kohen doing another part of the avodah. If the Torah writes lakhu, that it can be more than one person. So let's just say lakhu v'nosnu. In other words, the Chacham say we're not coming to exclude a woman. You had no bread to write v'nosan. Why not write lakhu v'nosnu? And if the fact that it's a v'nosan changes doesn't prove that Yehuda is right that it's come to disqualify somebody, a woman. Then Hamin never thought ad the shock vitrei v'yah vitrei. I would have thought it's v'lochu two, and then v'nosnu the same two must do it. Chas rachman v'loch by one it says two, but then it's a v'nosan one, and which one does it have to be? Either one that I when I'm akbar at all. Who does it? To be either one of those two or a third party altogether. I feel the shock vitrei v'yah v'chad. It doesn't matter. Anyone can do it. Rabbanan hold whoever could do a sifra can do the nosa ma'im chaim kelly. So a woman, not a cotton she'ein behen das. Then the pasuk continues.
It says the Osaf Ishtar Sefer Aporo.
Yeah.
The Miyach puts the Machane the Mokum Torah.
Yeah. So yes.
If you look at the Psukim beforehand, it doesn't mention anything about.
I know, but it's the next pasuk, and then
and then it's this pasuk test.
Yeah.
And the pasuk you test is the one that tells you to put water.
Pasuk Yud
Zayin is to put water in. So
right.
the whole. So it's only water gets put into this.
This is only the next activity, but this is the part of the first activity right now.
Yeah, correct. Because then it says, what do you do with this? It says if somebody comes stomach, then you got to use this thing, and then
it's
mix
not an
the water.
activity.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it's interesting. It says the Mishnah the main chatos, even though there's no water in this stage.
So we learned before that it's coming to tell you that even a sifra should be in Heschadas. We learned yesterday. Look at that a sifras, a potter shouldn't be Heschadas, and the middle mind, which has happened a little bit later, and so on. Says the Gemara, a couple of later, the next passage it says, the lokach ezoi that he.
So it's not a cold, but it's a betah.
If it's a chatos, then it should be in the azon. It should be
It's not a kapara. It's a hatana.
Chatas
means cleaning.
What do you call it?
Rashi kapara chaper keli.
Always talk about chitur. Now we do it. Quran, cleaning, purifying, disinfecting. They're called chitur. So I think from the word from chatos.
Is that what comes? Okay.
I think so.
The lokach eza, if you take the hyssop with tova b'mayim and dip it in water, right, and then you sprinkle on everything, the kalim and the people, the oil, and it says, it says ish tar. Now, where does it say ish tar? It says right here. So lokach eza with tova b'mayim ish tar. Why is it again ish tar? The saying again comes to change something. If it's continuation, say nothing. We already talked about it each time. Come to change. Ish will isha. Now we swap. Dafka man can do the hazah, even though an isha was included when it comes to the asifas apora, and it comes to the mili mayim. But when it comes to the hazah, and when it comes to the tefillah b'mayim, sorry, taking the aiz of the tefillah mayim, isha is possible. Tar, and but it says tar. So ish comes to the mayim isha. What's coming tar? Here the Rabbanan hold exactly the opposite of Yehuda. Here the Rabbanan hold. Here we're going to hold exactly what Yehuda said before on pouring in the water. We're going to say this regarding the next step of putting the aiz in and mixing it. We're going to say that an isha is possible and a kosher v'das is kosher. Says Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda, ish he holds faket. Ish will like cotton. Over here, each comes to the Maida cotton. This activity, I have to change it from before. I have no breda. Before it was matzah cotton. So here it comes to tell you, when it comes to Tfilas Ezah, a cotton is possible. And Torah is comes to Machshir. I passed the woman before when it comes to Mila Mayim. Now a woman is kosher. Basically, that's a question that says, Hakok Shein Lahazah, everybody can be Mazah, everyone can sprinkle Chutz Betumtum Madregulis Isha, none of these, and a cotton, and a cotton she'ain by das could be raised before cotton das go right. Cotton das isha misayot. A woman cannot do it on her own, but she can help this cotton. Umazen to spray. So the chayda was teaching me that a woman can spray. This is like an abundance said before. I want ish for like cotton on his own if he's one supporting him, and toy is we mad by anisha for tefillas ezav and sprinkling it. So a woman is kosher for hazah. And let Rabbi Yehuda, if you didn't say anything, so how do you know Rabbi Yehuda is arguing? What we have no break. I'm going to buy a key, but I'm having before. Mashma moitzi miyad mashma or mashma mele. There's cryptic. Some psukim are coming to tell you change what I wrote you before, and some psukim the psukim that repeat itself must be coming to say it can be different than before. Some kind of mir. The psukim that have nothing there written is coming to be say it's a hemshech. So we have no breda, and because we have no breda, we have no breda because inside of Yehuda, side of Bonner, this last pasuk where it says ish Torah is totally redundant. It's by Mila Mayim already says ish Torah. Why, when it comes to putting in the Ezav and the sprinkling, it says ish Torah again? It must be coming to change. So whatever you held before, it must be the opposite now. So the Chacham held before that Noshim are kosher and so on. So they have to change right now. Noshim are apostle for Hosea. But according to Yehuda, that Noshim were apostle now coming to Machshir. Says the Gemara.
Sounds to me like that would have better this mixture with Torah Duma, like taking all different places in that soil.
Why?
Because otherwise, a Chevra Kadisha, when somebody's in a Chevra Kadisha, what they work 1 week in Chevra Kadisha and the week.
Hold on, Harazation. Hold on, Harazation.
No, that's the preparation.
What
So
do you-
once it's all done, it's not to actually apply.
We'll see in a second. See who can be mazah. Says the Gemara, he's a hat Torah. It says the Torah should be mazah the Torah. Obviously the Torah. What do you mean Torah? Someone who just became Torah. Remember the Ma'aseh that's looking there. Torah Miklau Shu Tomei Miklau he was Tomei, and he just came out the limit out full yom shekash b'pod. Remember the whole machlek that's looking. We dafkim at Tamei. The person who's going to do this person that should be a full yom because they learn that it can't be a full yom, and we say that can be a full yom. Why do we say it could be a full yom? Because he's out Torah that he became Torah now. And he went to the mikveh today, still missing head of Shemesh, and he's allowed to do the paraduma. So I'm going to conclude something. Said we learn. Ravasi gave Rav Yechon. There's a lot of reporter. When Rav Yechon learned to get reporter, they mask him in they couldn't come. They couldn't infer from it. Ella b'may the masi, k'may the masi. The way we learned till now. As much as dust can come up when a fox is walking around, how much dust does a fox kick up? Nothing. Ella Amri, they say the exact same thing Ula said. Mashma moitzi meya mashma or mashma mela. They tried to learn all the psukim should go in one gang, and they couldn't. Some psukim are coming to change the previous psukim, and some are coming to be a hemshich, and there's nothing you can do about it to change the pshat. Tani Tani Kamei Rabbi Yechanan, Kol hashchitis.
Because it's also you can't understand the whole.
Muss ich aber paar mehr. To add to its ambiguity.
Yeah, it's not
simple. Okay, can sein. Dann Tana Rabbi Yechanan, Kol hashchitis ksheil bezar. We learned from Rabbi Tana. We learned from Rabbi Yechanan said. All the shchitik are good for Parah. We had a former Chayz Rabbi Shmuel for Parah. Rav said that it's possible for Yisrael for Parah because Chuk and Elazar, and Shmuel said that it's kosher. Amalei Rabbi Yechanan Puk Tani Lebra told the Tana who's telling the rice that take the price and turn outside. No way that is possible by a paradum shchita bezot. He held like the opinion that it's kosher and Yom Kippur is different. Rabbi Yechanan Rabbi Yechanan. What's interesting? Not only doesn't have to listen to a student or Tana who's telling him brayses. He didn't even listen to his own Rebbe. How do I know that? In this regard, Rabbi Tzaddik said that shchita is part of by Yisrael's fossil. And he had no problem arguing with the teacher. There's a trace somewhere in Shas, I can't remember where it is. That Rabbi Yechanan, just like Rav is considered Tanu Polig, Rabbi Yechanan also is he also learned by Rabbi, also Tanu Polig, but he never used it. And I think it's an end of Elam Mitzis.
The Gemara says it's only the Rabbi is the less flavor. He ran side the Shmuel, and Shmuel wanted to give Shmuel Smitha.
Yeah, Shmuel did, yeah, because Rav was much older. But yeah, remember we learned about Rav, fire used to go around in the Shlokish, Rabbi Yechanan told me how Rav would sit there, there was a fire around Rav. But maybe this is the mucker right here. The Gemara says right here, he's to argue with Tanaim. Shimi saw was a Tana. Rabbi Yechanan argued with him, he had no qualms. I don't remember that trace. Says then he went back to his part a second time. I did a second video. But his second video is slightly different than the first one. The first one he only talked about himself, a kapora. The second one he asked a kapora for himself and for his whole family. And
he held that it's also bizarre. Yeah. So why does he tell this guy check out his price? If it's one time he says to the cancer, why don't accept this?
He's steadfast and refuses to accept his opinion.
Well, he's saying that the price doesn't exist, or the price exists, I don't agree with it.
Sounds like very harsh. You don't agree with it. Shouldn't even be registered as a price as an opinion. Even though Rav and Shmuel argue, and Rav holds like the price, like should be a tzaddik. But Rabbi Yechanan was so convinced. We know we have a rule. Whatever Rabbi Yechanan argues, Rabbi Shmuel of Rabbi Yechanan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the Gemara, Maishna b'Yiddish Shalom b'nei Adam and Amshech, or Maishna b'Yiddish Shalom b'nei Adam and Amshech. Why they add b'nei Adam and Amshech talks about the wider community of Kohanim. So most are very interesting. Tanul ben Rabbi Shmuel, Kach hi midas adin. This is how things have to work. They said it. This is what logic tells you. That when you want to daven for others and follow, first take care of yourself, and then daven for others. Mutav yovei zakai v'yichaper l'chayim. First he davens for himself, forgive me. And that was the first video. And the second video, once now the agent forgave him, he now talks about everybody else. It's very hard if I myself am culpable or guilty that I should ask him for others. First, take care of yourself.
Swimming in the drink, you can't shoot someone else.
On an airplane, they would say you put the mask on first, and then you put it on everybody around you. Remember the good old days of flying airplanes? Mishnah. Shachte, okay, then we went on. Yeah, that's like an open country. Shachte, they shechted. The Kohen Gadol shechted the animal, the kibble, then he accepted Mekeli, there's blood. But no, he's telling me, boy, he gave it to another Kohen whose job is to continuously, keep it, turning it and everything else, so that it shouldn't congeal. Al Harivid on the fourth row in the Heichel. These are rows we usually have in the courtyard that used to put all these animals on the fourth row. What exactly means the fourth row in the Heichel? We'll soon see. We don't want it to be faglivit. We don't want it to congeal. Not Machti took a shovel, but all and he went up to the top of the Mizbeach. He moved away the coal. He didn't take hot coal from the front. He wanted to go right in the middle, which is the hottest point. So he shoved away the coal to both sides. And the choisem and amochelos apnimis, and he went to the center of the fire and take some coals from there. The Yoda, then he went down. Then he went down, and he put it on the fourth row in the courtyard. How he got to the courtyard when from the Mevech Apnimi would have gone to the Ulam. So there's some place whether it actually means in the ulam or it means in the courtyard itself. The Chol Yom, every day, every morning and every night he gave Titus as well, and he had to take coal. So every day when he took coal from the Mizbeach HaPnimi, or what was he took coal from the outside Mizbeach. Remember the two marachas, one marach, the main marach, the pyre was for the kabbanis, and he had a small one for the Titus. He would go up and take from the Titus, and then bring it into the Mizbeach HaPnimi. So every day that he did it, and there's a number of differences. He used a silver shovel, and then from there he would then pour it into a golden one. Is the very tool that he used, the implement that he used to pick up the coal. Because this itself was an avodah and had to be chashav like Yom Kippur, so he used a golden shovel, and that very same golden shovel is what he used to bring into the Fnai of Klim. Every day, every day he used to be generous, take 4 kavin, and then the second shovel was only able to take 3 kavin, and so therefore some of it just scattered around. Some of the coal just went to waste. But on Yom Kippur, the tool that he used, the implement that he used was exactly 3 kavin, and that's what he brought inside. Because every single thing was part of the avodah, so we don't want any excess and scattered around. Rabbi Yasi says, every day it was 6 kavin, and poured it in umara l'teich kavin. Don't be skipping. No, he took a lot of ashes and then he poured it into this smaller shovel. But Hayim on Yom Kippur, I agree. He used a 3 kavin golden shovel, and that's what he used to bring it in. Every day it was heavy. Today, the whole instrument was a light one because the Kohen Gadol has a lot of avodah, very strenuous, and he was up all night. So we're trying to make his job as easy as possible. The loppet of the shovel was a very short hand, so you had to basically carry all the weight in his hand. Today was a long handle, so you can put it under his arm as well. So he lifted it with his hand and under his arm again to make it lighter. Every day the gold was yellow. Today the gold is red. It's more expensive. What's red gold exactly? Does it mean reddish or reddish hue? Rose gold, that's gold. That's what we mean red, rose gold. It's a dark, yeah, I know, yeah.
You must have picking up these hot coals in the middle, conduct the heat with your hand is. It must have been long.
There's gold. There's gold the conductor heat. It's not metal. Sure, gold is not here. When was the last time he's right?
The other thing is this must have been a special type of gold. Because generally gold it's melts easily. No, it's actually
Maybe it had an alloy in it or something.
Must have, because gold today when you have a gold ring, it's not pure gold itself because it's very thin. They put an alloy to like a gold ring or whatever. Because jewelry.
But we just said that it's light. It was thin. This when you keep it was light because Taka was thin.
It's interesting that it would bend and so on because you made threads out of gold.
Maybe it was so
You made
quick.
threads out of gold.
Yeah, maybe it was so quick it didn't have a chance. We took it, went straight into the Kedesh Gedoshim. Did his thing. Okay, today was red. Every day, makri pras b'shachli is pras b'nabayim. Every day you do a half, half a share in the morning and half, and half in the afternoon. But Hayom and Kippur you do a third one. Malay chafnaf is 2 fistfuls. So in other words, today you do 3 times prayers. You do the normal activity morning and afternoon, and then plus you do what you go in the that's done in the Brecha Pnimi, so the Hechel. Then you do the Avodah of the Fnayel Pnim. Chol Yom Haisadaka. Every day the Ketedus was, it was very, very fine. But Hayom Daka Mina Daka. It was not fine. Now, remember we learned that when you go to the base, if you go up the ramp, you have to make a right turn because you'll finish at the point. Now the ramp itself was 60 amos wide, so you wouldn't go up the left side of the ramp, the western side, because then you're going to walk along the Mizbech for no reason, 16 amos. What for? So he says that every day, every day you walk on the very right side of the ramp because you're going to go initially make a right turn. Yeah, so why walk extra? You walk on the right side, but the Yodin, they come down the Maravik, and when they came all the way around, they went down on the western side, facing the base of Mikdash, went on the western side, so they shouldn't have to walk that extra space, extra distance. But today, today he goes up the middle, and he goes down to the middle, and he goes down the middle.
This one is nothing that's referring to. Is that what the extra is from the 365 as against 354? Because we say every day we pick them up first, right? But this extra that's left between the solar year and the lunar year is what you take on your kippur. So this must be here.
All of Nachman is talking about the gold, red, yellow, and the red.
Talking about the quantity of the
Everyone agrees the quantity is three. About the Torah, about the coal.
No, the Ketedus.
Yeah.
Yes, but because that's the leftover from the.
Now, so Rashi explains why on Yom Kippur you go in the middle, because we go in the middle like you own the place. On Yom Kippur we have a special relationship with the Eibush. We want to show that that's on the side you like shy, and you go Derech HaMelech. So we want, as Rashi says here, Mare Kavoidoi v'chibasan shel Yisrael, shehu shluchan, lo yisatz v'keben bayis. Walks as if he owns the place.
It comes in and
Home away from home. The Kohen Gadol in the middle. So he always goes up the middle. The Yod B'Emser. Kohen Gadol the Chala ben Bayis by the Eibush throughout the year, not just in Kippur. The Chol Yom Kohen Gadol Mekadosh Yod V'Ragol V'Nakir. Hayom Min Akit Mishazav. Today they brought him a jug of gold. You wonder how he walked across. The only time he went, we'll see that the very first time maybe he did the Kia, but the rest of the time they brought a Kippur Zav. Not just on the Yom Kippur. It was a Kohen Gadol B'Chal, a different kind of entity, a different Metzias. Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole thing. What is a Kohen? Is a Kohen Gadol just an upgrade from Kohen Hedjed? Because it starts out as a Kohen Hedjed.
That's right.
Just an upgrade, or
because
it's totally
never go back to be a Kohen Hedjed.
We'll have a Gemara above Yavam as a whole Shaila. If he did things as a Kohen Hedjed, like he married someone that's forbidden as a Kohen Gadol but permitted as a Kohen Hedjed, what happens when it becomes a Kohen Gadol? He's allowed to stay married to them. Like if he married an almana, which a Kohen Hedjed is allowed to. As a Kohen Gadol, we'll see.
The Kohen Gadol have to give him what do you call it? A young girl. It's
his own, so it's different. But we'll talk about it. Wait, you will see. Every day on the way do 4 marachas. We'll see later in the Gemara why 4. By Yom Chamis and Kippur, you add 1 more 5. Even a they said every day 3 pies. By Yom Arba 4. Abiyudayim another Chol Yom Shtayim 2. the main kabbanis, and the other one is for the potatoes. Hayim, and today shows up for the Ready Gemara. Okay, we'll stop here. Starts the Gemara. Continue tomorrow on Mitzvah.